Welcome back again, everybody. Sorry about last week. Bella had a stomach flu, not the China virus. And we are back with People Over Politics. With Chris is with me tonight. Thomas is gone tonight, but he'll be back with us next week. And we'll get back to normal. Everything's been a little crazy with the campaign this week. And we've been pushing extremely hard, hitting the streets, knocking doors. And, we've got a great response from people, the type of people that, they're letting us know what they really want. In the district, hold on, we're going to check the mic, sorry. Okay. And, the types of things that I'm hearing from the district is, and it's funny because you hear these numbers that 80 to 83% of Hispanics and blacks do not want the police defunded. And from my experience, the people I've spoken with this week, it's true. I would say 90% or more. And they understand that when you defund the police, you're defunding your neighborhood, the safety of your neighborhood. And what ends up happening is you end up like Mexico, where you got thugs, gangsters, drug dealers, this and that, running your damn neighborhoods, and the nice people are the ones getting pummeled and run over, and without the police there to help help set things straight. But that's one thing that I know is an important issue to the Hispanic community in particular in CD7 that I'm going to continue to focus on, and definitely something that, as we've spoken many times before in the past, I believe that we need to reform certain things. We need to reform the training, the hiring process for the police, and do what we can to make it better. But I think defunding it is absolutely the worst thing we could do. Look at Minneapolis. Ask those people how everything's going up there, and they're getting murders, people getting shot, robbed, because they know there's no repercussions outside of a citizen, pulling a gun on somebody. There's no repercussions for what they're doing. So we can never allow that to happen here in Arizona, in Phoenix, and and from a federal standpoint. I'm at the point, like a lot of people ask me, at the federal level, why aren't they doing anything? And I have to explain to them the Constitution and why Trump is allowing the states to run themselves, basically, and not get involved from that. Now, he can. We've invoked the Insurrection Act before. In 92, the LA riots, they invoked it. There's been many, George Bush did. There's been about 6 different times that I can think of that this has happened. Over the years, over the decades. But I know Trump is really, he's more like me, like biting his tongue and pulling his finger back from the button, to hit that insurrection button, because I don't know how much longer I would be able to sit there and watch this unfold and watch innocent people getting attacked in their cars and their windows busted out, just on the street doing absolutely nothing wrong, just being attacked by Antifa. And BLM rioters, not the BLM protesters. The BLM rioters is a big difference. And there's just a lot of chaos and anarchy, which is exactly what the left wants going into this election. And we're going to find out who's funding all of this. And we saw on Fox News how that went when they brought up George Soros' name, and they all turned white. I think Harris Faulkner even turned white. When she heard that, boy, she was like, whoa. But you know what, Harris, when we looked at it again, I'm glad Chris pointed this out to me, because I was kind of mad at her first, but she actually was open to the conversation. She was the one the other lady was the one shutting it down. The wacky Democrat they always have on there was the one shutting down that conversation. Harris was letting her speak and allowing Newt to speak his mind on the subject. And then it came out the next day. Bill O'Reilly had a nice little 5-minute video showing that Soros is putting money into these district attorneys, these liberal, wacky district attorneys, and trying to buy up this chaos. Basically, he's paying for this chaos all over the country. And I'll let Chris speak on that some more, because we talked about it the other day.
I mean, there's not much more you can add to it. I think it was self-explanatory. Anybody who saw the video, can see that, he's not even bringing Soros up as the main point. He's talking about the situation and what's happening and saying, hey, Soros is funding these politicians and these attorneys, these district attorneys in these cities this is happening in, and he's trying to go on with a further point. and they just stop him. He says Soros' name, and it's like the whole conversation stops.
It was blatant.
Yeah,
Wow.
I've literally never seen anything like that.
I never have either. I've never seen an interview just stop, like halt like that immediately. And it looked like Harris was listening to her earpiece, kind of like, what the hell should I do? Because they brought up Soros' name. Heaven forbid we bring up the criminal. I consider him a criminal, enemy of the people, enemy of the state. Because what this guy's been doing and getting away with for so long is just unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable to me that this guy has not been investigated by our DOJ. Well, our DOJ, meaning in the Trump presidency or the Trump administration with William Barr. But maybe he is. Maybe we don't know, because I know Rand Paul put out a investigation, I guess, through the Senate to look into who's funding these Antifa riots and stuff that were in Washington, D.C. when him and his wife kind of got attacked, leaving the White House, for crying out loud.
Yeah, I don't know enough about the way something like that would work, because he's not even American. He's a Hungarian citizen. Mm-hmm. So I don't even know what can they do. Do you know?
I say exiling, man.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the only thing, worst case scenario, get him out of our country, but he can still fund this stuff all over the country. So it really, this guy's so corrupt. His money's all over the world. Mm-hmm. It's all over the world. He's infiltrated every possible thing you could to ruin America. I mean, he really has.
Well, that is part of his ultimate goal, but the ultimate goal is not necessarily ruin America. It's to institute Marxism in as many places around the world as possible. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? We just happen to be one of the targets. Yeah. The main target, really, because if he can do us, he can do anybody.
Yeah, if you do us, the world's done anyways.
Yeah, exactly. So it was just a weird thing. If you haven't seen the video, look it up. Look up Fox News, Newt Gingrich, George Soros. You could just do that on YouTube and you go see the whole video, and it's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen, I think, as far as like on the news.
I honestly have never seen anything like that. Like, I never seen anything shut down like that. Mm-hmm. Just off somebody's naming a name. And then he's like, and then Newt's like, well, it's true.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to do? Lie about it?
Yeah.
It's I'm trying to find that video. I would play it through the microphone.
They won't be able to get the context, though.
I'm on Newt's page
because they can't see it.
Right
they
now.
Can't.
True. You see the reaction.
They can't see. They can't get the
reaction
context.
Is everything.
Yeah, they can't get the context of it. So what's new in the campaign, man? What's going on?
Oh man, we've been, like I said, out knocking doors, man, just going old school. But also, we got a lot of stuff that's gonna be moving with Google ads, YouTube ads, Facebook. And what we can get away with, on Facebook, because they're about as they're all about trying to stop any conservatives from getting their name out there. I still think Ruben's weak and soft, both mentally and physically. But he won't debate, and I'm not going to keep clowning on him for that, because I think it's pathetic that a sitting congressman isn't competent enough or confident enough to debate a quote rookie in the politics. Well, and I keep saying this, when you have a platform as terrible as his, and as terrible as the Democrat Party's platform is right now, we want to raise your taxes. We want to pay for illegals' health care. We want open borders. Hey, we want babies to die late term and infanticide. Their platform is so bad that what they're trying to do is just hide it. They're trying to hide it, because there's a reason why no Democrat in the entire country that I'm aware of has accepted a debate with a Republican outside of Joe Biden, and Trump's going to just destroy that guy. But I know Kim Klacik, we were just talking about her. The other person that she's running against doesn't want nothing to do with her. And not because she's this master debater per se, but when you expose what they stand for and their ideas, which Kim will do, it's like, why are we voting for this person? And the same thing with Rubin. It's the same thing with all these Democrats. When their ideas are exposed, they make no sense. They're not for what's the best for America in general, and it's not what's best for the people. And they're trying to hide it. And I feel that they've been given orders from the top down, from Pelosi and Schumer, do not debate. Just be quiet. Because there's no other. I do not believe that an election should ever happen and it's always been my personal opinion, that an election should never happen. I wouldn't want to vote for somebody unless I can hear the two candidates and what they stand for going against each other. Because if you can't come and debate me, then how are you doing anything for the people of this district? You know, if you're too chicken to come debate me and show me how great your ideas and solutions are, then what in the hell are you doing in Congress in Washington, D.C. for the people of America, but also the people of Congressional District 7? I don't feel that he hasn't done anything. I mean, that's another reason why he wants to hide away. It's because he's done nothing. He's changed the name of a post office and tried to pass a bunch of partisan bills to look like he's busy doing stuff. I mean, that's what he does. That's what they do in general. They don't have ideas or solutions, so they just try to drag things out.
Well, they don't have to debate for this reason. Let's take the example of school choice, right? Here's an example. All right, school choice, which means, for those who may not understand, it's when, let's say, you live in an inner city and you want to have your child go to a school that's, you feel is a little more, has higher standards as far as academically. It's just overall a more fitting place for your child. As long as you're willing to provide the transportation to that school, you'll be able to take your child to that school, right? Okay, so what happens is with the laws that are in place now, the legislation that's in place right now, people are forced to go to schools within their own school zones unless they're willing to put in a fake zip code and have an address that there's a lot of
trying to get around it somehow.
Exactly. So what happens is, right, you'll have people. You'll have politicians that say, hey, I support school choice. Let's use Trump as an example, because I'm making an example here. Mm-hmm. I support school choice, right? So the other side says, well, if we allow everyone school choice, these inner cities schools will fall apart. They won't have enough students. They won't have enough funding, because funding is based upon number of students. That's part of what funding is based upon. The biggest part, actually. And what happens next is they'll say, and these schools are named, this is how they play word salad. Mm-hmm. These schools are named after black people. And so you're going to take these kids and they're going to go to other schools that are not named after black people. These schools will this is what happens.
I know. It's ridiculous to me.
And they'll say these schools that have Frederick Douglass' name will no longer exist, right? Okay, so then another way they play word salad with this. And so the people that back school choice, let's say Trump backs school choice, which he does and Biden doesn't. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. The headline will not say Trump is pushing for school choice. It'll say Trump vetoes more funding for inner city schools. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. That's how they play word salad. So a person who's not very educated on politics will look at that and say, oh man, he doesn't want to help out the schools in the inner city. That's exactly.
Well, that's how they're going to try to play it.
That's how they don't. That's why they don't debate. Yeah. Because the media is playing word salad and debating for them.
And when you put it all out there and people see the truth, they're like, "We're getting lied to again." Yeah. This is what's best for us, for our kids. Mm-hmm. And why in God's name are we voting this way? Again, like you said, they're changing verbiage and language and trying to spin it in a negative somehow when you're trying to do something what's best, for the kids, and they're spinning it around. I just had something I came across here. Breaking report. All passengers on Epstein's flight logs to be named. Quote, the Attorney General for the U.S. Virgin Islands, where Epstein had a home, has demanded logs for his 4 helicopters and 3 planes from 1998 to his suicide last year.
We'll see.
Interesting, huh?
Yeah, we'll see.
We'll see. I haven't seen no arrest yet.
I think that's going to be a
Maxwell.
while. Yeah, I think we are seeing arrests. When you're seeing all of a sudden,
we're seeing some stuff go down.
Yeah, you're seeing these, 39 kids caught here, 100 kids caught there. I think
they arrested 262 people in Oklahoma.
Yeah, there you go.
And they saved 5 kids, but there was like 262 arrests. Yeah, it's like 262. That's a lot. That's significant.
Yeah. Well, there you go. I mean, I think we are, because at the end of the day, you can arrest these people at the top if you want to, but if the people that are that are involved in the network that are actually doing the hands-on work.
Yeah.
And you have to get those people.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got to get the top people, man.
Well, the people at the top aren't going to do anything
Yeah.
if they don't have the people doing the actual work.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. And you know, that's what's frustrating, I think, to me and to a lot of people is, yes, we see the arrests happen. We do see this. Kids being saved, thank God. You know what I mean? That we see the kids being saved. But you're arresting a bunch of low-life criminals, to me, that are doing their work for their uppers, right? And their handlers. And I want to see the handlers go down, because that's when you start getting into the people in power, and that's how you truly cut the head off the snake. You know what I mean? Is going after these people. And so far, we haven't seen anybody big outside of Maxwell, which is blatantly obvious. They had to do that almost, you know, with the Epstein, in relation to the Epstein situation. Because where's the Wiener laptop? Why has that not been exposed in a courtroom? Why has this not happened? Harvey Weinstein got busted, but really wasn't related directly to Epstein. Allison Mack, the whole NXIVM thing, was it Richard Rainier, and that whole situation with the child trafficking and sex trafficking and all that. But again, I mean, you have like the Wiener laptop got brought up today on Twitter. That's why I brought it up. And it's been, how many years has it been? It's been probably 3 years.
Oh man,
At least 3 years. And why in God's name has this thing not been brought into the courtroom and opened up? Why is this information not brought to the table to find out exactly what happened? Well, we all know. Well, how should we all know? I think we know that it's in SDNY. It's in the Southern District of New York. Caught up there. What did Trump do not too long ago? He fired the one attorney. The U.S. attorney installed his own U.S. attorney, which he has every right to constitutionally to do. He should have done it when he got into office, but he can only do so much, so much at once. And then a week later, after he did that, who got arrested? Yep, she got arrested. So I have a strong feeling that whole situation with Southern District of New York and installing some of his own people there is going to come out eventually. But it's one of those things. It's like, I mean, how much longer does it take, for crying out loud? I mean, John Durham's been, dude, if you think about it, it's been almost 3 years and 9 months since Trump's been president. And all this stuff happened, the coup attempts and everything happened even before that. And they still haven't made a damn arrest outside of Kleinsmith, who admitted his guilt for changing an email about Carter Page not working for the CIA when he was. That's their big arrest so far, And you're talking about a literal coup attempt on our president. This is freaking unbelievable. Like I can't wrap my mind around the depth of this, and what has actually happened. Do you think people understand?
No.
Like, what's going on?
No, and I'm going to tell you, I know they don't, just from having conversations. They're not even aware that that's even happened. And also, when you factor in this, Josh, and this is pre-COVID, 80% of America was 2 paychecks away from being homeless, pre-COVID. Mm-hmm. So people are so caught up in just paying bills, man, and living life, and that when they vote, they just look at the basics. They say, what is this? Looks right to me. Let me vote this.
Yeah, Green's going to do a lot of talking this election.
Yeah, exactly. So it's when you, so they don't even take the time. They don't make the time, because the time that could be spent for that is spent on sports and entertainment. You know what I mean? A lot of the time. You know what I mean? Regardless of the demographic.
But don't you think during this the shutdown and everything else, that a lot of people were kind of home bored researching? I know a lot of people that I've reached out have been like, dude, you were right about this child trafficking stuff. And I'm looking at them like, how? What? Why did you just now figure this out? When I've been telling you for a year. It's not their thing, because it hasn't happened to them. You know what I'm saying? Why do people have to wait till something bad happens to them before they want to do something about it? It's almost like their health. They don't want to do nothing. They have a heart attack and they live. Oh, and I'm going to change my lifestyle. Well, you should have done it before, so you wouldn't even have the heart attack. just human nature. People, especially in America, I can't say for everywhere, people are lazy. People are content. And to to a degree, I get it, because they just want to be left alone and live their lives. You know what I mean? And I'm all for that, but I just want people to understand that they need to wake up to what's going on, that the government and certain things happening need to stop. And they're only going to stop when the people mobilize together and make it stop and demand that it stops. And that can go across the board for many things. But, you see what the left's doing. How much further does the left have to go in what they're doing before you start seeing major counter resistance? How much further does it have to go? Now you have a federal officer get shot at our courthouse here in Phoenix. Everybody said, "Oh, it's never going to come to Phoenix or Arizona. We got guns. We're gun-toting Arizonans." Well, guess what? Guy got shot. Luckily, he had a vest on. Then what happened the other day? Ambushed, AK-47, unloaded on one of our DPS here. Guys, it's here in Arizona. It's here in Phoenix, and if it's here in Phoenix and Arizona, it's going to be anywhere. That's like this stuff happened in Dallas, Texas. Like, guys, this stuff is happening all what we consider gun-toting conservative states. It's happening. It's coming to us. I always say it's coming to a city near you, a town near you. How much longer are you going to put up with it? I feel there is a way to control it, and there is, but we need our DOJ to do their job, and that means going after the people who are funding the Antifa and the BLM violence, not the BLM protesters, but the BLM violence, because this money's coming from somewhere, people. This organization is being organized at a high level, and it has to be coming from somewhere. We need to find out who it is, and there's just no way that we don't know. There's no way we don't know. I've seen videos of people saying, "Soros, pay me my money." You remember those videos? Mm-hmm. Blatantly saying, "Soros, pay me my money." Like, it's so right in your. They put it in front of our face. They throw it in our face because they know nothing's going to be done. They know nothing's going to be done about it. They do whatever they want, and they get away with it. And my question is, why? Why is our DOJ, the Trump DOJ, letting this happen? Does anyone out there have an answer to this? Because I can't, for the life of me, wrap my mind around why this is continuing, why this coup attempt happened, and is continuing to happen. Now crazy Nancy is threatening another impeachment. She's nuts. Did you see what she said? Oh my God, I got to show you this video. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. So she's talking, and she's not really that coherent anymore anyways. And then literally, like, it's almost like she had an episode, like blacked out. And she's like, "Good morning." I'm like, what the hell was that? Like, I was looking at it, I was like, this lady, there's something wrong with her. Like, she looked like she blacked out and woke up and she said, "Good morning." Like, that weird smile on her face? Yeah.
I don't
like, it's almost like somebody was controlling her. Yeah. It's really weird. Yeah, it is. Almost like she's an android or something, some type of robot, But she was I gotta find it because I actually think I shared it. It is the most bizarre thing I've ever seen. And then Sleepy Joe, did you see Sleepy Joe walk up to the mic?
Which time?
Yeah, we really gotta do something. And jeez, out of breath, standing there. Probably we take that stupid mask off. You might get more oxygen for one. You don't have a whole lot of oxygen going to that brain of yours. It hardly functions anymore. But then you have the mask on everywhere he goes in his convertible driving with his mask on. I mean, take the damn mask off. But the guy was literally out of breath. He's unfit, physically unfit to run for president. I'm sorry, he's unfit to run for frickin' mayor of Goodyear. Like the guy should not be. It's actually, I feel sorry for him. I feel it's literally elder abuse what they're doing to this poor guy.
I do too.
It's really bad.
No, I actually had that thought today when I was watching, because there was a situation, I guess, where he didn't even go campaign. They sent his wife. And I was wondering to myself, is his wife hoping he loses? You know what I mean? Like, she's like, "Man, I know he's really not fit for this." No, I really was thinking that. You know what I mean? Like,
that's true.
Like,
I'm just laughing because it's like, I run into some liberals at the gym, and I played this for him, and I couldn't stop laughing because it was so ridiculous. And I'll play it right now for y'all. And let me get it back.
And perhaps most cruelly of all, if Donald Trump has his way, the complications from COVID-19, which are well beyond what they should be. It's estimated that 200 million people have died, probably by the time I finish this talk. And perhaps,
Can you get any dumber? It's like Dumb and Dumber. Can you get any dumber? Yes, you can, because he just did again.
Yeah, it's like yeah, that's what I'm saying.
200 million people are going to die.
By the time he
from
finishes his
COVID.
talk. By the time he finishes the talk.
Oh,
You know?
here's the other one. You ready for this one? This is fun. I'm sorry, we got to do it.
good afternoon, and welcome to the nation's Constitution Center. I had the great privilege of being the guest leader of this outfit for a year. It's an appropriate place to make the speech I'm about to make. I attended Mass earlier today and prayed for Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg and her family.
Out of breath, out of touch, out of whatever. The guy couldn't even get a breath. He just walked up to the podium. I honestly, I feel bad for him. It's here's another fun video. Here's the new Karen. Remember the girl they had that was screaming like a nut job when Trump won? And she's like, she's on her knees screaming at the sky. This lady's worse. This lady is 100 times worse. And I got to play it for fun because this lady is out of her damn mind. Ready?
Holy fucking shit, you guys! I'm driving your car, but I just got a notification that Ruth Bader Ginsburg died! Fuck! Could this year get any fucking worse? Ruth, you just had to make it to 2021! Holy fucking
Okay.
shit, you guys!
So, yes, it can get worse for you. When Trump wins on November 3rd, it's going to get worse for you and your ridiculous agenda that y'all have. But this lady, dude, I've noticed that I can identify a liberal physically probably well over 90% of the time. Sometimes they trick me. But when I see this lady, I see liberal like tattooed on her forehead. So, anyways, Ruth Bader Ginsburg passes away. Unfortunately, I believe it was pancreatic cancer. Was it COVID or no?
No,
Anybody
she had
test her?
cancer. She
Oh,
had cancer.
okay.
Complications of cancer.
Okay. I thought it might have been a COVID thing. We had who was it? Who was
Start with C. No, I don't want to make fun of her death. I don't do that.
well, they count everything as COVID. That's why I was asking.
No, that's what.
Did they test her or not? So what I've been saying is, the left, we had a coup attempt on our president. They weaponized the FBI, the DOJ, the CIA against Trump and his administration. They threw fake rape allegations at Kavanaugh, to try to prevent him from becoming a Supreme Court judge. These people are nuts. Then they fake an impeachment on a duly elected president. And what I keep telling people, do you want us to play fair now? Oh, well, it's, X number of days for I don't give a damn. As far as I'm concerned, you all have played this game, and now you're gonna make that bed. You're gonna lay in it now.
Well, and see,
And
there's,
hold my beer.
there's all that, and see that in no matter if they even came out, if all of that came out to play, I'm telling you, from what I've seen, the people that are going to vote for Biden are going to vote for Biden. You know what I mean? There's about a 3 to 5% in there of people that are unsure. Mm-hmm. Everybody's kind of drawn their battle lines at this point, mm-hmm. right? So there's people that I know who are in their 60s, for instance, right? And these are people in the South, mm-hmm. that I know, that I grew up with, that, people I looked up to.
Yeah.
And I'll tell them, they'll say, they throw the Trump racist thing at me.
Of course. And
when I say to them, you realize Joe Biden read the eulogy at Strom Thurmond's funeral, they're like they get quiet. Yeah. Oh, I didn't know that. I'll have to look into that. And then they never get back to me. They don't want to know the truth. You know what I mean? Like, think about that. I mean, this was the lead Dixiecrat.
Yeah.
And Joe Biden read his eulogy.
Uh-huh.
That's somebody you're close to.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. But he's racist?
And the Clintons read a eulogy for what's his name? He filibustered the Civil Rights Acts and everything. Former KKK member.
David Duke. Oh no. The other guy. Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? I can't think of his name right now.
Yeah.
But even Obama was there. I'm like, dude, you're praising a KKK leader. And you're right. You're saying this eulogy for this person.
Yes. Yeah.
It'll come to my head in a second. But yeah, it's nuts, man.
Yeah, it's the same person though, right? Strom Thurmond, right?
No.
No.
It's I don't know. Go ahead and do it. I'll come up with it.
Okay.
It'll pop in my head here.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So that's what you're fighting against, man. You're fighting against people who've drawn their lines, and and once again, the media plays word salad. So people have just drawn their lines and saying it's this way, and that's just the way it is. And it's so, you try to fight against it. You try to educate people. You get one here and there. I do have some friends that I've talked to, and I say I'm not trying to switch you from anything. Just be aware of what you are, of what's really going on. And then they go and research it themselves, and they say, "Oh, I didn't even know that." You know what I mean? Like when the African American lady got arrested this week and sentenced to not arrested, but she was sentenced to 6 years, right, for having her child go to school in another zone, right? So I took advantage of that opportunity because in the black community that was all over the place on social media, right? And so when everybody posted that, I would DM them and I would answer to the post and say, I'd be like, man, you're 100% right. I could never support any politician that doesn't stand for school choice. Is what I say.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then it's like and they're like, yeah, man, me either. I'm like, okay. I said, so make sure you look at the politicians that want school choice and the
You
ones
don't
that
even say
that
what party.
Yeah, I just say that
because
I just say
if
look
you
at
look at Josh and Ruben, school choice, no school choice.
Yeah.
So you already know what they're going to look at.
I say I do it all the time. I just do it that way. I approach it that way because if I say Trump, then they say, oh, ain't no way. You know what I mean?
You can't even.
But if I say it that way, then now it's in your lap because you've just said I support school choice. We'll find out who does and who doesn't.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It's best to ask questions.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, for me, school choice is one of those things for me that I don't care what politician it is. Any politician that doesn't support school choice, automatically I can't support you.
Yeah, because
of the way that's affected the inner city communities for so long. You know what I mean? Like
You're
that's
exactly
one of
right.
that's my abortion.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? School choice is like, nah, I don't care what else you have. School choice, if you don't support that one, I can't support you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
and I totally understand why.
Yeah. And so like that's what I've been doing is trying to go at it about it that way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I'm with you. I think it's best. What I do is I like to ask questions. What makes sense to you? Does this make sense? School choice or not school choice? Wide open borders or controlled border where we can streamline the process to come here and make it more efficient. And it's always just, they look at you like they almost look at you like you're stupid for even asking them such common sense questions. But when I tell them, I go, you do understand, like, what side is with what side, But the people don't look into it enough and they box you out immediately if certain things are brought up, And it's just, it's unfortunate it's like that, but that's the political climate we're in, But I do feel, and after I've spoken to a lot of people, man, there's these polls can say what they want, but I'm telling you, they say Trump's down like 10 in Arizona. There is no way in hell Trump is down 10 in Arizona. I'm telling you right now, no way.
Yeah,
no way. Because I ask anybody, why are you voting for Biden? A lot of people do. They start laughing. They said, yeah, I'm going to vote for Biden. I said, why? They literally start laughing because they know it's ridiculous. I mean, you do understand what you're doing, right? But it's so bizarre. The whole situation with Biden is so bizarre. And AOC already said, I'm going to control him once he's in there. We have him under control.
Yeah, I saw that. We think we can push him towards being progressive,
radical.
I saw that.
Well,
I mean, it is what it is. I mean, at the end of the day, if everybody goes out to the polls and votes, Trump's going to win in a landslide. The only way this is close is the mail-in voting. That's it. That's the only way.
There's going to be so much fraud.
Oh man, that scares me, man. And it's like they're setting the whole thing up, and
it's so obvious what they're doing.
And we don't have. There is no such thing as a conservative Antifa.
No.
To go out and raise
Proud
hell.
Proud Boys.
Yeah, well, they're not going to go out and raise hell if Trump doesn't win. You know what I mean? They're not going to cause the ruckus we're seeing now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
They'll do a little, but they're not going to do this.
They never did do that. They're always kind of there like, if you throw the first punch, we're gonna end this fight. Type of attitude.
Yeah,
you know?
there's no conservative Antifa that's gonna like completely.
There
wreck
might
the
be
country.
though after that.
Well, it's because
I don't want that because we don't want that
because-
kind of lawlessness.
It's because conservatives care about the country too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
It's really what it boils down
Yeah.
to. And so I don't know. This whole thing, I'm staying positive. I really am. I'm trying to stay positive that we have a fair and clean election. I'm so much of a constitutionalist that if this was a fair and clean election and Biden won and Trump refused to concede power, I would have a problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
I really would. I wouldn't like it, but I'd say, man, that's wrong. You know.
He won't.
He
That's
won't.
all. It's all a big fabricated Democrat lie.
But it's not going to be fair and clean.
Yeah,
And
no.
it's obvious it's not going to be fair.
Well, I know in Pennsylvania we are suing for their horrible call on the mail-in ballots up there, allowing them to come in like 3 days late and stuff like this. And I mean, guys, we have deadlines and rules for a reason. And if you're too stupid to be able to vote on time and turn your mail-in in on time or go vote in person, then I don't know what to tell you. We have rules for a reason. We have deadlines for a reason. And if you can't make those deadlines, your vote doesn't count. That's on you. That's on you for not paying attention. It's not that difficult. Don't give me that voter suppression crap that they try to tell you. No one, if you, like I said, no one, I've never known anybody in my life to be like, oh, I can't vote because I'm suppressed and they won't let me vote. If you're too lazy to freaking drive 5 miles to go vote, I would walk 5 miles to go vote if I had to. You know what I mean? And wait in line or whatever I had to do because I know it's that important. But these people that keep making these excuses, and it's all an excuse to steal an election with mail-in ballots. And they think about all the stuff they've attempted against the president. We tried this. We tried COVID. We tried to do all this stuff. We won't open up our cities and states. You know, let's try to ruin the economy some more. That's how insane these people are. They're so freaking insane that they're willing to sacrifice their own cities and states just to get him out of office. You know what's going to be amazing is when he wins again, it's going to be a beautiful thing.
Man.
I wish I could be a fly on the wall when Cuomo in his room when he finds out Trump wins again. Or because guess what? Cuomo, those records that you lost, you're going to get criminally prosecuted. I think Barr's going to criminally prosecute them. He's going after Portland right now. Some of the city council and the mayor of Portland for what they're letting happen. What they're letting happen right now is absolutely disgusting. I don't know how you can live in that damn state for that matter.
Well, one of the city councilmen, one of the people that worked for her was arrested in the riots. Did you see that? That's crazy. It's crazy.
Dude, these people are nuts.
These people are crazy.
I don't even, I was just looking here at Tom Fitton, from Judicial Watch. The DOJ hid and wiped Mueller phones. Like, what was it, like 12 or 16 phones? Or more than that, 30?
Yeah.
The DOJ, FBI hiding and slow walking the text messages and emails on Obamagate as Durham seems frozen, is what he says. The DOJ protecting Hillary Clinton just asked the court to shut down all discovery into email Benghazi cover-up. If she's got nothing to hide, then why the hell isn't she there in person like Tom Fitton wants? Like, why, what? The DOJ gave a free pass to Mueller and Comey for lies and leaks. What is William Barr doing? That's our DOJ. I call ours. I mean, the Trump administration's attorney general. What is he doing? Why is he letting this happen? And don't give me that crap. Oh, well, we're not sure if we have quite enough evidence. Dude, that's freaking blatantly obvious what they've done. Even McCabe and all those people in the Mueller investigation, like it laid it out for you. It literally said what happened, and you still didn't go after these people.
Yeah,
we will not. This country will not get better until we have people held accountable and there's actual justice. This country will not get better. It will continue to get worse and worse and worse. And that's just flat out the truth. It's going to get worse if they aren't held accountable. And I mean everybody. I don't care what side you're on. Everybody, whether it's the child trafficking, Epstein stuff, whether it's this Obamagate, whether it's Ukraine gate. Why is Hunter Biden not in jail? How does it even happen that he's not in jail right now for what he's done?
You're asking.
You know what I mean? Like, but this country's never going to heal and it's never going to move forward because what the left does. Oh, well, no one's got arrested. There's nothing happened. You're a conspiracist. and then we all know it's true, and then nothing ever happens. And then what happens when you can get away with murder?
You do it again.
You do whatever you want.
But but when it comes to that kind of stuff, like it's both sides though.
Yeah.
There's people on both sides.
Yes.
They get away with stuff that's like, and then they just do it again.
Yeah.
Like it becomes like that's the frustrating part for the general public and why they
Yes.
just give up. They just get, because they say they don't get held to the same standards when their standards should be higher. Their sentences should be longer. You know what I mean? In realistic terms.
Yeah. No, I feel you, man. But we're gonna wrap it up tonight, guys, and we'll be back next week. We got a late start tonight. I was on a phone call earlier, but we will be back next week. Hussey will be with us next week, and we'll get back on all the hot topics and what's going on. I appreciate everybody listening in. If you have any questions or concerns or a topic you'd like us to speak on, feel free to reach out and let us know what you think. Thank you. God bless you guys.